This is Department of English, Government Postgraduate College, Atak, for online classes, and I am Muhammad Ali, lecturer in English. Today I will present my lecture regarding background history of this novel Good by Mr. Chapes. Here are a few pictures which are in front of you. This is another picture, next picture, then again there is another picture of Mr. Chapes. So let us start with the background. Goodbye Mr. Chapes is a novel or novella about the life of a school teacher, Mr. Chaping. It was written by the English writer or novelist James Hilton. It was first published by Hodder and Stoughton on October 1934. It has been adapted or modified into 2 cinema films and 2 television presentations. The story was originally for the first time issued in 1933 as a supplement or addition to the British Weekly, an evangelical newspaper. It came to prominence or fame when it was reprinted as the lead piece of the April 1934 issue or the topic of the Atlantic. The Atlantic is a magazine that was founded in 1857. The success of the Atlantic monthly publication prompted a book deal between the author, the writer James Hilton, and the US publisher Little, Brown and Company. And for the first time in June 1934, the story of this Good by Mr. Chapes was composed in the form of book. The first British edition went to press in October 1934. The publishers were Hodder and Stoughton, and it sold 15,000 copies on the day of publication. Information about the firm. The firm has its origins in the 1840s with Thomas Wilberforce Stoughton, and with the huge success of this book, James Hilton became a best-selling author. Character of Mr. Chapes. So, some salient features of his character. Good by Mr. Chapes is a psychological novel that describes and tells the emotional and mental condition of its hero. It tells the story of a beloved school teacher, Mr. Chaping, and his long tenure or service at Brookfield School. The students called him Mr. Chapes. He had many characteristics or traits and qualities in his personality. Mr. Chapes was an old-fashioned, traditional, conventional and conservative in his beliefs. He kept strict and firm discipline in the classroom. He had mediocre or average or normal credentials, qualifications, degrees and certificates. He was teacher of classic Greek and Latin, his academic subjects, but he considered them dead languages. Brookfield is a fictional or imaginary minor British boys' public boarding school located in the fictional imaginary village of Brookfield in the Finlands. The Finns, also known as Finlands, is a coastal plain in the eastern England. A boarding school provides education for students who live on the premises or a place as opposed to a day school. And it provides room and board for students, and students stayed at the school for the length of the term. The Finlands means the marshy or muddy or wet region. Inspiration or idea or motivation or brainwave behind writing this novel Good by Mr. Chapes. The setting, location, surroundings and the scenery of the site for Good by Mr. Chapes is perhaps based on the Leys School, Cambridge, where James Hilton was a student from 1915 to 1918. James Hilton had told that the inspiration for the protagonist or the hero or the main character, Mr. Chapes, came from many sources, including his father, who was the headmaster of chapel and school. Mr. Chapes is also likely to have been based on William Henry Balgourney from 1869 to 1951, who was teacher of James Hilton. He was a master at Enfield College, Woodbridge School and the Leys School. from 1900 to 1930. He became the source of inspiration, idea or motivation for the character Mr. Chips in the book Goodbye Mr. Chips. William Henry Belgarny was in charge of the Lay's fortnightly magazine, in which Hilton's first short stories and essays were published. Over the years, old boys wrote to Geoffrey Houghton and told him that a master at the Lay's and the historian of the school confirmed or verified that links between chipping Mr. Chips and Belgarny. William Henry Belgarny was born at Woolwich. He was the son of a minister, the member of the church or cleric. He studied at and taught at Enfield College before going to the Lay's. He was assistant master at Woodbridge School. At the Lay's School in Cambridge, he was senior classical Greek and Latin master over the period of more than 50 years. For 1 year, he served as a deputy headmaster from 1929 to 1930. From 1900 till 1929, he was an assistant and a housemaster at Lay's School. He died of heart attack. Port Maddox came into existence after William Maddox built a seawall, the Cobb, between 1808 and 1811 in Wales. Like Mr. Chips, Belgarny kept a strict discipline. Like Mr. Chips, Belgarny would also invite boys to visit him for tea and biscuits. James Hilton wrote upon Belgarny's death that Belgarny was, I suppose, the chief model for my story. It means the miracle of writing this Goodbye Mr. Chips, this novel, actually was due to Belgarny, and James Hilton accepted it. The mutton chop side whiskers of one of the masters at the Lay's earned him the nickname Chops. There was a master's, he had side whiskers, and a likely inspiration or idea for Mr. Chips' name. Sideburn or sideburns or side whiskers are facial face hair grown on the sides of the face, extending from the hairline to run parallel to or beyond the ears. The term sideburns is a 19th century corruption of the original Burnsides, named after American Civil War General Ambrose Burnside. Here the picture of Ambrose Burnside. He was during American Civil War. In James Hilton's final novel, Time and Time and Again, he wrote that novel in 1953. The hero of the novel, Charles Anderson, bears clear biographical similarities to Hilton himself. Early in the novel, Anderson briefly recalls about attending Brookfield and knowing Chips. With this, I would like to end my lecture. Thank you very much.